Hello everyone, welcome to today's video. So I've got a fun one today. We are talking eyeshadow palettes. We are talking basic but beautiful eyeshadow palettes. So if you're a neutral lover, then please stick around for today's video. I love eyeshadow palettes. Give me any and every excuse to talk about them and I will do it. You know I will. So I saw Morgan Turner come out with a video. It was the most boring palettes ever that I love. And I was like, oh, I want to do that. It's been a while, but I just kind of like jotted it down. Knew I would eventually do the video. So shout out to her. She's queen. I followed her when she was like such a small creator and now she's massive. I just think that's so awesome for her. So these are in no order, no rhyme or reason, just basic but beautiful palettes that I have in my collection that I love. Like, do I need all these? No, but they're so pretty. Ignore my nails. They're broke and I haven't glued them back on, so let's just ignore that. Okay, so I'm overwhelmed because they're so beautiful. I don't know which one to pull out first. Okay, we're just gonna go off the top. Okay, this is Makeup by Mario. This is what I'm actually wearing on my eyes today. Basic but beautiful. You know what I'm saying? Like, are you kidding me? Is this necessary? No, but if you want to splurge, go for it. It's a pretty palette and the formula is nice. The main thing I like about this, I feel like a lot of palettes are too warm, too cool. I didn't really have a actual neutral palette in my collection, you know what I'm saying? So that's why I absolutely adore this palette and yeah, I love it. I use it all the time. If I'm in a rush, if I just can't think, I can't be bothered that day, I just want to feel a little bit better about myself, throw on a little bit of makeup, I'm going to reach for this. So let's see, number 2, let's see, okay, the Natasha Denona Glam Face Palette. This is the lighter version. I know it's a face palette, but listen, it's so pretty. Ignore the blush and highlighter, those are fine. But these shadows down here are incredible, guys. Like, I know a lot of Natasha Denona shimmers are just like, meh. Like, they're pretty, but they're not sparkly. I feel like in a palette, she'll give us like one sparkly shimmer, which I get. It's more flattering for most people to just wear shimmer versus sparkle. But these are an intense foiled metallic. They don't really, they sparkle a little, but they're so intense. And I love it. They just look like liquid metal, liquid gold. You know what I'm saying? And the neutrals are so beautiful. They blend amazing. This is a goodie. Such a goodie from Natasha Denona. Next, a Lunar Beauty. Okay, so this is my third favorite basic but beautiful palette. The Nude Prism. So you know how earlier I was talking about like the Patrick Ta, where did that even come from? Makeup by Mario palette, the Ethereal Eyes. Those tones they're all over the place. They're beautiful. They're cool, warm, and neutral. This one right here, you would think it's a neutral palette, but I'm telling you, it kind of leans pink. So don't get this thinking you're going to have like a neutral palette because they can lean pretty pink, you know? Anyways, and I just love the shimmers. They're so... they're like a Super Shock almost. They're very high shine, almost like the Patrick Ta. I'll just mention him next. They're almost like that, but they're not as gritty. It's just a high shine, beautiful formula. The mattes are beautiful as well. And I even go into these. Sometimes I'll go into this as like a blush. And sometimes I will pop this milk tea as like a contour because I'm so fair. Packaging, 10 out of 10. I really do like that palette. Next, speaking of Patrick Ta, since I keep saying his name, let's just mention what is this called? Major Dimensions palette. I'm kind of like on a Patrick Ta no-buy right now. It's just too expensive and stuff goes bad fast. But this is next level beautiful. I'm not saying, I know there's drugstore options, but obviously you see these pans. I love this. The main thing that separates this from any other basic but beautiful palette are these cream shades. These creams are foolproof, and that without these creams I would like it, but with these creams I freaking love this palette. The shimmers aren't my favorite because they're kind of gritty. They're fine, but the mattes are beautiful and these two tones are lovely. So yeah, an oldie but a goodie, and I really do. I just enjoy it. It's so effortless, and those creams just, oh, it's such a nice touch. Let's see what I want to do next. Ooh, a controversial palette, maybe? The one from Melt, the Mary Jane palette. I may do an entire video on all of my new Melt palettes because I have got some thoughts. Anyways, guys, I did not buy this for so long. One, because of polarizing reviews, but two, just based off like looking at it, I was like, ooh, I don't want a silver palette. Like, I don't need it. I don't need like a gun smoky palette. But when you use this, you can get the most beautiful, effortless looks. Some of these mattes are so neutral. Some are, you know, it's kind of cool tone. This one even has like a hint of green to it. It's basic, but it's beautiful, guys. Like, I don't know. Is it my favorite palette in the world? No. I'll go more in depth on the formula, like, in a different video. But this is a beautiful, neutral leaning palette in my collection. Packaging 10 out of 10, and I just really enjoy it, and I cannot stop using it. Like, it's always on me. I'm not even kidding. I love that one so much. Newer to my collection, so you know everything when you get it's shiny and new, but as of right now, I like it. I really do. Now the shimmers are just like, meh, you know, they're fine, but the mattes, oh my gosh, they're so pretty. Next, let's talk, yeah, let's talk about Natasha Denona. This is the Mini Glam palette. This is so sweet. This is like just such special memories. I love it. I even hit pan in one shade. I need to use this more. But this is another one that I can't get enough of it. This is another one like the Makeup by Mario. I don't have to think, and I get a beautiful look every single time. The formula is really good in here as well. It's such a cute little mini packaging. Feels nice. So yeah, I can't say anything bad about Natasha Denona minis as far as like the way they feel. They're not like a cheap plastic like elf feel. They're like a nice, you know, weighted feel, if that makes any sense. Okay, next let's talk about this one from Huda Beauty. I feel like I shouldn't say basic because this is not basic, but y'all know what I'm saying. You get very basic looks, but don't, like, I feel like I'm not doing this palette justice when I say that. Like, I'm sorry, you're not basic, you know? But look at this. I know it's not neutral, but every time I wear this, it's like if you love neutrals, oh my god, you're gonna love this palette. Like, I feel like every neutral girl loves purples and loves greens, but there's something so flattering about these tones in here. I cannot get enough of it. I love the mix of textures. The formula is just so intense. Like, these shimmers, the mattes are so beautiful. It's not like your basic brown palette. It's like a, you know, a neutral palette with a twist because it's not neutrals, but you know what I'm saying, like soft girl glam vibes. Not even get me started on this packaging. There's just something about this palette, man. When I got it, I used it every single day for weeks. Like, I could not put this down. I even use it as a blush. Like, it's an amazing palette. I would definitely wait for a sale, obviously, because they're very expensive. But if you love neutrals, I think you would really enjoy those soft, elegant, everyday tones. Okay, I have 3 left. Let's talk about this one from NARS. This is the Summer Unrated palette. I don't think you can get this anymore, but I still wanted to mention it because, look, basic but beautiful. Like, are you kidding me? I love all the different tones. It's honestly mainly warm tone in here, but if you go in with this one, it can kind of stay a little neutral. But there's something that I love about the pinky peachy neutrals. This palette is so good. And this is not only NARS eyeshadow palette, and I'm impressed. Is it overpriced? Yes, for what you get, but I like it. And I'm glad that I have it in my collection because every time I use that palette, it's effortless. You just get a stunning look every time. Kind of like, I keep mentioning the ethereal eyes. It's so easy to get such a beautiful look. It looks like you spent so much time on your eyes, but you didn't. Next, I'm saving the best for last. Y'all already know it. So my favorite, this isn't a ranking, but my favorite will be last. This is the Natasha Denona Glam Palette. This is number 9. If you're curious, you don't get any more basic than this. Cool Tone Lover's Dream. I love it. I wish there were more mattes in here, but honestly, like, I don't really need any more mattes. You get light to dark. It's an amazing formula, so I'm not going to talk too much because if you love basic palettes, chances are you already have this in your collection, but this is just like my most used, well, it used to be, Natasha Denona palette. I cannot. It is just so good. And I've had this for so long, and it literally performs like day one. It's so nice. That's something I really enjoy about expensive palettes. For the most part, they just work good all the time, you know? Okay, so we are on my last one, and this is from Glaminatrix. I've had so many questions about this palette. This is a Nearly Natural palette. And Doodles by the Bunny did this artwork. How lovely is that? She designed the packaging, and this is what the inside looks like. Glaminatrix is an indie brand located in Australia, and shipping takes a little bit of time, obviously, but it's worth it. Guys, I'm telling you, if you've asked me if it's worth it, it is worth it. This is the ultimate glam basic. I don't even, like, I'm sorry, I don't want to call her basic, but, you know, soft and neutrals, but the shimmers, they're so elevated. When I say elevated, I mean sparkly. And I love the mix of tones. You can go mauvey, you can even have pops of green, your bronze, your soft like grays with your neutrals. There's just something for everybody in this palette. This is like the ultimate wedding palette. Like literally I could make this video just like top 10 wedding palettes, you know. Yeah, all these would be on there too because they're that good. But I really, man, I'm telling you, if you want to like splurge and you want a sparkly formula, get this. This is a very sparkly, beautiful formula. I know it's not, when I say sparkly, I mean like some are metallic high shine, but this has sparkles in there. It's a little bit difficult to remove when you start bringing in sparkles, but it just adds such a beautiful touch. So definitely my favorite neutral palette in my collection. So forever the Glam from Natasha Denona was my favorite. And she has since been replaced with this one. I always tell my husband, I'm like, can we please get married again so I can wear that palette? Anyways, guys, those are my top 10 favorite basic but beautiful palettes. Go watch Morgan's video. I'm sure you already did. I'll link it. I saw that and I was like, oh, yes, I love that because I just love neutrals. You know what I'm saying? Anyways, that's going to do it for today's video, but first, let me know in the comments what is your favorite basic palette in your collection. Something where you know, if you're in a hurry, you don't have time to think, you reach for it. Or like a neutral palette where you just want to feel beautiful in soft tones. There's just so many different neutral palettes, and everyone has their own favorite. So I love hearing why you are in the world. I hope you're doing well. I hope that you are healthy, happy, and safe. Stay beautiful. Bye, guys.